Right, hello and welcome. I thought I'd show some progress of my map I've been working on. It's in this area that I'm working on at the moment, the research centre. I've based it on the construction site. Now, the construction site itself is a 5-storey building, which is a lot bigger than I need. So I thought about just lowering it down and having it so that the top was showing and just using it like that. But then I thought, well, no, what I'll do is instead I'll take it out and re-render it and bring out a new model just on the second floor. So it just uses the second floor area itself, so I don't have to worry about if there's any over rendering or anything. But how have I actually used this 2-storey? Well, first part is the start of construction. I wanted the research centre to feel as if it's half functioning and half being created. So this is the first part. I created some sheeting to show this normal siding that you see on buildings. And site will be the first part of it, so that you've got not just a singular fill all the way through or completeness. I brought in a couple of construction models from UE, which is supposedly free to use for any UE game or engine project. So this is the scaffolding done all the way around. So that seems pretty cool. So I've added in the first building. I've added a modular window section so that you can change it so clear or not clear. So each part is movable or detachable. I've also used them to create the doors. So one of my favourite parts is the sliders for the doors. I don't know why, but I find it really fun. Some standard little chairs to make it feel a little bit more human and not just building structure. The second version, same type of thing with different colours or different textures. As you can see, the sheltering for Iranian sun is quite predominant. Added in some pavings. The quadrat, well, that's got some lovely golden fish, because every research centre needs something like stupid piece of structure, or should I say sculpture. My sun shades, I've improved the model on there, spent some time actually modelling for a change. They look quite cool. I'm quite happy with those. They've got a feel of the sunshades, which are found in numerous places. I've added in little top buildings for cover going out, and this one has balustrades and this one hasn't, so it gives a two types of feel instead of singular. I had some trees as well that were originally from Unreal Engine, one of their free downloads, so that's from theirs. They seem pretty good. Almonds, so they Acacias, so they should be appropriate to the region. One of my favourite little projects parts of is the football pitch. Strangely enough, I looked at doing a decal so that you just like lay the image over the top of it, and thought, well, then that becomes a shading issue where you end up having problems with shading. So as you see here, you see like the glass, the transparency that you would see through it is in the region of sort of like bad, but that's proportionate to the actual map itself. But I thought if you end up putting a decal over a large area, that makes quite a big graphic strain. So I thought, oh, well, what I'll do is I'll make it into an actual object itself. So let's see if I remember. Oh, there you go. Back to the usual. So if I click on it, it's an actual object itself. So there's no collisions on there. It's a true VR experience of football. How you could really do it. So it's supposedly the right size for a football pitch. I've added in some extra sunshades with some Iranian This is the Pursuers football logo, so I don't know the team personally. Added quad lights, so that's it there. Now if you notice the frame rate's pretty good. I'm still in the top right hand corner. If over here you can see my frame rate's quite high, so I'm quite happy with that look. So it's got a nice feel. I'm quite enjoying that. I started doing some work with regards to in between the areas. The ice factory. I'm not even going to attempt to say the word quadrille or something like along that lines. Police station set up there, radar brace. Carry on round. So you notice I'm still in the 100 on the FPSs, so I'm very happy with the work on that. This is Freedom Park, and I noticed that some of the cars here, the glass shader was too demanding, so I ended up changing it. I like the little restaurant area there too. The other one was in the whites, and this is more in the reds, so that's an improvement. So this is going to be a refinery area. I haven't done much to it at the moment, just getting a blocking idea of where it is. I put in between a little bit more of uneven land, so it gives a little bit of cover for infantry over areas. Rocky area, I've used a hab just for scale, so I can figure out if you could put a hab and it would be just enough cover from some directions. So also my little helper men, just so I get an idea of scale. So there's quite a bit of cover. If we go across to the construction site, halfway between, because everybody needs a little bit of sewer going through. Another extra piece of cover. Once again, if I show you the shader test, it's all looking quite good. Quite enjoying that. Okay. These are just some decals. They have a supposedly quite pronounced use of. This is my gas station with its new change logos. It looks much better. Has a nice feel to it as well, the actual size. Quite happy with the look. Thinking about maybe changing the doors so you can actually go in and out of them. Should be good. We carry along the coast highway, so we come along the main structure of an hangar, sculpture, and some scuba cars. It looks quite good. I've added some sea breakers to cut down on the erosion on the sand, and it should give cover. Next along the beach is a seafront of apartments with a small mosque at the side. Hopefully this is a nice area for combat, and it would be a little bit of relaxation, a nice restaurant in the area for communal areas. Hopefully I'm not going too fast or it's just too jerky. As you can see, I've added in some castellations on the buildings, which seems to be quite usual in Iran. Hopefully it's not too repetitious with the extra arches. They're like the little them chairs, they're quite fun. Carry on out. This is the main base. Yeah, I know I've got a grill there. That's just me seeing what 300 meters was, so I know what is what would be the punish zone, so I know where it is. And then we carry on out a little bit more to the east. Come to the radar base. I've tried to use a similar materials across and try and keep it optimized. The FPS is pretty good. So you're looking in that direction. You can see we're in the 80s, 70s. That's on Epic. I've tried to create small enclaves and points of interest, so not just one repetitious urban environment. Oh, and then there's my water source, the little hidden part. I quite like this. Coming down to a water supply for the production of ice. An ancient water well coming through to the ancient water stores, or the ice stores. And the problem is, I had to update my editor, and updating the editor, it ended up I've got to redo the water, so the underwater at the moment, so that will be changed, that will be clipped. Strangely enough, this part's clipped already though. As you can see, the FPS is quite happy. Let's come out of that second. If I go to my settings, if you see my settings are on Epic, if I put it up to high, um, steady 120. So, river area, I've taken in a pontoon section. There's a pontoon bridge there coming around, so the bridge areas are slightly different. This is the fault. I've had to change out some of the textures because they were very demanding. The mask have changed the dome one so it's now flat. Once again, I've optimized the textures and reused the materials to try and save memory use. Lovely stars. This is the docks area. The boats are there. The Shif boats are out at sea. I have set these as a blueprint to run on a simulation. The only problem is they sink where I change the water, so I need to sort that out. But I'm trying to actually finish some of the map. Carry along the dock lines. I've been trying to change out the decals and the actual images for signs so they're more Iranian-like to conserve memory. All Iranian-based. The the sun canopies, I've set them up so that when you actually move them, the texture color changes. So that's useful because it seems quite a lot. Everybody has them, which is understandable considering the temperatures that you can get out there. This is the lower part of town. Oh, some ships there. You've got Bashir should be off to the southwest there, so that's in the distance. We've got some ships out at sea there as well. I have started doing an invasion layer with the USS Essex, so hopefully that will be one of the first layers to come about. Some more ships there further out, which most of the time you're not going to be seeing. If I bring up the LOD, mesh LOD, you see the mountains. I've lowered the LODs down so that they're always in level 3. So all the LODs look like they're working well. The difference is if you see close up it's grey, the further you go, grey then red, yeah, then green, and then you come back further if you see that middle tree, blue, yeah, and that's the LODs that you're actually seeing, the level of detail. So if we head back to the construction site, that's our research centre, you see mine actually change down quite nicely. So what I did do was with the windows, so if we go back, mesh, no, I'll show this, it should be the one I mean. There you go, so like red, then they go to green quite quickly. What I've done is changed it so that when they go out, so if you see there, they're red and then disappear. So look, that there, if I put the cross over it, yeah, so it's green, red there, and then goes green. What I've actually done is changed it so that the actual element changes. Because once you get off to a distance, glass tends to change its look and the way that light hits it. So the incident angle ends up changes the colour, or appears to change the colour. So, but what that means is, with regards to the buildings itself, is it lowers the demands, which is always good. Got some lovely Iranian flags up there as well, and I think that's about it really. I think that's covered everything that I've been doing on there. Power lines. Oh, and little ruins. We always need a bit of ancient ruins. Always quite good. But it's quite close to the main base, so you don't want to be there unless you're camping too much. And hopefully that gives you an idea. Oh, and the air towers. These are part of the air conditioning. They used to use them to keep things cool. So I thought that would look good on a map. Hopefully that gives you an idea of what I've been up to. If you've got any comments, please feel free to comment away. Thanks a lot and keep happy. Ciao.